Part 46. And I saw a great white throne and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. At this judgment, it was only the dead that were judged. All the living that were still on the earth weren't judged. Death and hell gave up their dead. The sea gave up their dead. And all the dead, small and great, stood before God. Jesus Christ was the Alpha and Omega of the old world, the beginning and the end. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. Right? But that word there is logos, which means thought or idea. It's saying in the beginning God had an idea. That idea was Jesus Christ. That's how he was going to save the world. That idea was with God. That idea was God. It was what God wanted to do. And that idea came to fruition in the man Jesus Christ, the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. As I said earlier, Jesus preached the gospel to all of the dead, from Adam until he died. The disciples preached the gospel to the ends of the known earth, or the ends of the earth, just like they said back in that day, and to every creature. They said that they preached it to every creature. They were given that commission, not us. In Mark, he called the 11 together because Judas had forsaken him at that time. And he said, "Go ye and preach the gospel to every creature." And they did. In Acts 1, he told them to wait at Pentecost until the Holy Spirit came on them. And once the Holy Spirit came on them, it said after he'd given commandments to the apostles whom he had chosen. And he said that they would be his witnesses in Samaria and all Judea and to the uttermost parts of the earth. Paul told the Romans, "I thank God that your faith is heard throughout the whole world." And then in 66 AD, once these guys are done and they're caught up and the rest of the believers fled into the wilderness, then it says that an angel flew throughout heaven preaching the gospel to everybody else, so every single person on earth. But that angel said that the time of God's judgment has come, and it said worship God, right? It didn't say anything about Jesus there. It said worship God because it put a conscience of God in everybody. The world changed after 70 AD. They no longer thought it was just okay to sacrifice virgins and stuff. Everything started changing, the whole world. Now, every single dead person that had died before 70 AD stood before God. Their spirits aren't on this earth anymore. And they were judged according to the gospel. And the earth and heaven fled away. It was changed. Just like Stephen got stoned for saying that Jesus would destroy the temple and change the customs of Moses. And the fashion of that world passed away. Stay tuned.